Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, it's a Netflix series, Wednesday, that Tim Burton did, based on the Addams Family's Wednesday. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, please hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media and all the links to my pages there as well. Sorry, I was just laughing at the dog. The dog was doing some stupid stuff over there as she normally does. But anyway, so spoiler-free version first of Wednesday. What is this thing about in a nutshell? Well, it's Wednesday Adams, and she gets sent to a Morticia and Gomez's alma mater. It's a boarding school, if you will, a high school, and stuff happens. So, and it has a supernatural bent to it as well. It is supposed to be a tween adventure, if you will, horror story, things of that nature. And of course, Wednesday is supposed to learn some lessons. There's also um, a mystery that is happening there as well. And how well does it actually hold up to, like, say, it's not very Tim Burton-esque, I'll say this much. It's kind of more subdued Tim Burton than anything else. Christina Ricci's in it as well. She plays a different character altogether. She's not, of course, Wednesday Adams. Gwendolyn Christie's in it as well. There's actually quite a few names in here, I guess you could say. Uh, uh, we also have oh fuck, now I'm just blanking on her name. Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia Adams and Louis Guzman as Gomez Adams. So yeah, how does it play out? Parts of it are good, other parts of it kind of campy. I mean, in a way. Um, and the one thing I kind of didn't like that was, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was kind of disturbing for me is kind of sexualizing Wednesday Adams, who, I always thought of like a little girl kind of thing. And then, well, she still is in this. She is I want to say like probably a sophomore or a junior in high school. So, it's still, yeah, she's still a teenager, but still it's kind of on the uncomfortable side, shall we say, with the sexualization of that. So that is one of the things that was kind of one of those things I looked at and I was like, yeah, um, didn't really need that in there. But yeah, I know where they're at from it. Yeah, Penn says agreed. It isn't Burton-esque. I agree with you. And Mork, you already saw it twice. So yeah, okay. Um, and yeah, I wasn't shocked that Ricci had much more than a cameo in there because her and Tim Burton, they know each other. So of course he, wanted her in there. Um, so what is the verdict on this? Is it worth your time? If you like the Adams Family characters, it's decent. It actually has a good story to it. There are some parts of it that are tiresome and very, very tween, very, very made for tweens is really what it is. Think Hunger Games only dumbed down a little bit, kind of that kind of stuff, that kind of franchise, if you will. And that's where you're at with Wednesday. So yeah, it's worth your time if you want to just unplug your brain and not really think about it all too much. So that's where we're at there. Now, with that said, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the series. If well, I guess there's a season 1, I don't know. But if you want to run away now, if you haven't watched it, this is the time to do it. Hit pause. You know, come back later after you've watched it and see what I got to say about this, after the spoiler alert. And otherwise, I'm giving you enough time to just do that and hit the pause button, all that kind of stuff. So, um, yeah, the whole drawn out process with Tyler, and the whole hide monster thing, that was just kind of tedious. I felt. Also, the whole, uh, I don't know, the subplot of that comes in kind of late into this series with Joseph Crackstone and Goody Adams, and this whole. I mean, it's kind of interesting bringing Goody Adams in, which was just kind of a throwaway line in the first Adams Family movie, um, but making her a character in this series was interesting. That's a callback, on all this, and then having, of course, Jenna Ortega playing both characters, at that point, which she does a good job at. Jenna Ortega is great in the role. She does a good job. The other thing I didn't like about this is the kind of normalization of Wednesday. They try to make her normal, to have friends, to be social, and that's not the character. Wednesday is supposed to be antisocial. She is supposed to be standoffish. She's supposed to be uncomfortable. Making other people uncomfortable, that kind of thing. And this kind of normalization that you can normalize this character. That's not what the character really is, but okay. I can see they're trying to do it like, what is she going to be when she becomes an adult? And I'm like, yeah. Yasi Sufi, welcome by the way, says it's worth your time if you are a Danny Elfman, Tim Burton fan. Actually, I don't know. I don't think that this was very Tim Burton-esque. I really didn't feel there was Danny Elfman in there at all, quite honestly. And the script, again, depending on who was writing which episode, was very hit and miss. Yeah. The Thing stuff was actually decent. I really thought I wasn't gonna like Uncle Fester, especially played by Fred Armisen. But I actually decided it was an okay, he did an okay job of that. So yeah, I mean, did I ever watch the Adult Wednesday Adams on YouTube? I did not, Pen. No, I never did. Yes, we did watch the same series, Yasi. So, Mork says I could have lived without the Crackstone stuff. It was brought in late and resolved super fast. Yeah, I agree with you. Um, that seemed kind of like an afterthought, and they're kind of like, oops, we missed a big bad that we had to have in there, and they kind of shoehorned in the Crackstone stuff, and then tying in Christina Ricci's character to that as well, bringing in, the family that, yeah, that the whole, bringing Morticia and Gomez's time at the academy as well into all of this really kind of seemed really shoehorned into it, and late in the game. And that's why I was just kind of like, okay. It just seemed weird. Mork says Uncle Fester was fun. Thing was amazing, incredible how the hand you can see. Yeah, the thing was actually really good. They did a good job. And actually, when you feel for a hand, anthropomorphic hand, if you will, that dies and then they have to bring back to life, and you actually kind of feel for that thing, no pun intended there. That's actually really good. They did a good job with that, I have to admit. But yeah, the if it comes back for a season 2, which most likely it will, because I believe it's at number 2 right now. Actually, I think it's number 1 in the Netflix series, and I think it's like 2 or 3 in the in the all-encompassing Netflix, top 10 or top 8, however they do it. But they need to amp up a little bit. They need to tighten some stuff up. They need to elevate the writing a bit as well. And I mean, right now it's decent. I mean, you could put it on, but there were definitely some parts I just kind of walked away, and I was doing some stuff in the kitchen and whatnot, and wasn't missing a damn thing really. Um, so yeah, it was just on in the background for me for some stuff. Yasi says the whole cello sequence was well edited. Also, the Pulp Fiction s. So yeah, the cello sequence is great. They did a good job of that. The weird dance sequence that Wednesday does during the dance uh, is kind of evocative of Wednesday in a way, and then also not at the same time. It was just kind of a weird, and again, that goes into that sexualization thing that I was talking about the character. That was just kind of it was weird, but you can kind of put it in with Wednesday's character. I don't know. There was just something weird about that one. Mork says the dance was a tip to the old Wednesday. It was the exact same dance. Okay, there we go. I might have missed that one, but yeah. So I mean, overall, it was decent. I wouldn't say it was stunning. It wasn't the best thing I've ever seen. It wasn't by far the worst thing I've ever seen either, but it was there. You know, for me, I would say 6.5 out of 10. Morks, not quite a 7. But and also the special effects, when they went into the werewolf stuff, oh, the special effects were rough on that one. Rough. Get that one? Rough. I did that one for you, Marks. Yeah, that special effects, the werewolf special effects were pretty rough. And also the gargoyle, Gorgon special effects. That was rough too. So yeah, I mean the siren was okay. The siren stuff was decent. Having the different classes of the vampires, the gorgons, all that kind of stuff. uh I thought it was okay, but also a little cheesy at the same time. Did you like that, Marks, that I threw in a really bad joke for you? So yeah, overall worth your time. Like I said, there's a lot more worse stuff that's on Netflix. um Yeah, nothing's coming to mind at the moment, but yeah, there is worse stuff that's out there. So yeah, give it a shot and take a look at it. Mark says the siren makeup was cool. The werewolf with the pink hair was cringy. I agree with you. Yes, that was cringy, and also the puppy dog eyes thing that Enid as werewolf. Enid throws towards Wednesday and then goes back into the right in mid fight was just kind of weird and awkward, and just um had some bad keyframe issues, shall we say. If you're in animation, you'll know what I'm talking about. Kissing Booth. There we go. CBM. There you go. There's a bad Netflix series. But yeah, that's what I got for you on that. So what else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Wait a second. Yasi says, well, those rough special effects were so old time Tim Burton for me, a bit nostalgic too. I think Burton put his in. I don't know about that, Yasi. I think that was more having to do with budget. And Netflix is notorious for slashing budgets, especially on series. And they will usually bump up. So it's kind of funny. So they give you a minimum for the first season, then they bump it up a little bit for the second season, they bring it back down again for the third season. It's a very weird thing at Netflix, and it's a common complaint that I've heard about anybody who's doing a Netflix show is that that's what they do. It's this weird level, step up, step back down. And then if you go beyond season 3, then they kind of bring you back up again, depending on how much, unless you're Stranger Things, where you just kind of blow the doors off of everything. They're like, here's all the money we've got. Do what you need to do. And then it becomes a different story at that point. And Netflix is, I mean, well, Wednesday is not doing Stranger Things viewing. I know that. It's doing decent, but I think Troll is actually doing just as much business as Wednesday right now, which I want to talk about too. I want to talk about Troll. That might be one of my next. Is it worth my time? As a matter of fact, it probably is going to be the next. Is it worth my time? Anyway, What else do I have going on for the rest? Troll is at 10 right now. Okay. It was number one at one point. So, what else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Well, tomorrow is going to be Willow. Thursday is going to be Doom Patrol. Friday and Saturday, I'm going to be off. Sunday is going to be the Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any genre stuff you want to talk about. We talk about it. And we got to talk a little bit more about that Wonder Woman 3 and the whole Patty Jenkins saga, because there's something that just popped up again about this whole thing that's opened up another can of worms. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, I'm going to be off because I'm going to be on vacation. So I'm going to be doing some stuff. But you can always go and take a look over at the schedule and see what's going to happen there. Exactly as Penn just put up there, put up the schedule link. So thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. And thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, you know who you are out there. Take a look at the video. It pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library, and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, please hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to take a look and see what's going to come up next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. And, I change it every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. I just want to also say for this series, I really did like Gwendolyn Christie's character. It's a shame that they killed off the character. That was actually a decent character that probably could have been developed a little bit further. And unfortunately, I think she just only wanted the one season. That was it. Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia does a decent job. Louise Guzman as Gomez was actually pretty hilarious. I liked it. Even the kid who played Pugsley was decent. You know, the kid who played Pugsley was actually decent. The rest of the kids in the cast, they're kind of forgettable for the most part. Um, the girl who played Enid, Wednesday's roommate, the werewolf. There's a lot of talk online right now that people are saying that she would make a great live action Spider Gwen. She has the right look for it. She does have the right energy level, I guess you can say. And I can see that. I can see her being Spider Gwen. That wouldn't be a bad choice. There are worse choices out there. So yeah, that's what people are clamoring about right now, is having and I'm blanking on the actress's name all of a sudden, so that's why I have IMDb open. Emma Myers is her name, Emma Myers. So she would actually make a really good Spider Gwen. And yes, CBM Gwendolyn Christie did say that this is the first role that made her feel beautiful. So yes. Um, Penn says Eno was way too Luna Lovegood to me. I don't know who Luna Lovegood is, Penn. Sorry. There's a lot of geekdom out there, and that's one I haven't gotten into, obviously. Oh, Harry Potter. There we go. All right, thank you. Yeah, sorry, I'm not a Harry Potter person. So, all right. Uh yeah, but she had that energy. Spider Gwen is kind of, well, if you saw the Into the Spider Verse, which by the way had the sequel, the trailer dropped today as well, which is up on my Facebook page. It's on YouTube too if you want to take a look at it. So Spider Gwen in that is the comic book Spider Man, or comic book Spider Gwen, and I think she could actually play that fairly well. She would do a good job of it. Yasi says, I'm wondering if there'll be a season 2. Will they keep it at Nevermore, or will there be Wednesday spring break? Most likely, if they do a season 2, it'll be back at Nevermore because they have to bring in a new principal. The town now has a different view of Nevermore at this point. So you're going to have a threat that either to the entire town or it's going to be whoever the principal is who comes in will be the big bad. If they're going to do a sequel to that, I don't think they're going to do a spring break if they do that. Yeah. More because I would like to see like a season two with more of the family dynamic. Um, I don't know. I kind of liked the little spurts of having Morticia and Gomez in just a little bit. I would like to see Pugsley come in. Pugsley coming in season two would actually be really good to have him in another housing unit there within Nevermore, and then you could have Wednesday and Pugsley team up, or that kind of stuff. Because I actually like the kid who played Pugsley; he did a good job. Yasi says, especially with the good character like Gwendolyn Christie gone. Yeah, yeah. CBM says Wednesday hanging around spring break would be so fun. I don't see that. I don't know. Penn says it reminded me a little bit of Sabrina, but I'm not sure why. I can see that, Penn. Yeah, I can see that it reminded. Yeah, um, yeah. Especially Nevermore Academy was fairly close to shit. I can't remember what Sabrina's what the Academy was called there, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, Penn. Um, yeah, it could very much parallel Sabrina if they don't. Do it differently. Hopefully, if Burton's still involved in this for a season 2, they do look at Sabrina and go, "This is what we want to avoid," and they go a different route. I don't know, although I don't know where they're gonna go with it. So, yeah. I also wanted to mention the very beginning where she dumps the piranhas in the pool, and it takes the testicles of one of the kids. It was dark and also just very fucking funny. It just really was. Um Yeah, that for some reason that hit my really dark funny bone there on that one. Yasi says, I don't think they'll be able to get Zeta Jones back. Maybe they can get Fred Armisen back, that's for sure. He's not doing anything. And Catherine Zeta Jones really isn't doing anything either, so I'm sure they can get her back too, especially if it's just gonna be cameo stuff. I mean, it's Tim Burton after all, so he can do it. I don't think there's any difficulty getting any of those people back other than Gwendolyn Christie, who is, whose character's dead, unless they bring in her twin, which would be funny, not unheard of in a series, and would just be kind of hilarious. And if they kill off the twin in the second season as well, so that would be and have her twin instead of wearing all white would be wearing all either red or black, something like that. Yeah. So that would be an interesting mix, if you will. All right. And with that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the rest of the night. Thank you, everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. I will see you guys again tomorrow for Willow, episode episode 4 of Willow. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may be involved in a plot in the very last minute for a pilgrim who supposedly burned your family's heritage down to the ground back in the 1600s, something. I don't know. It's very murky, but is brought in at the last minute. So just watch the episode. You'll see what it is. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, get the boosters as well, because they don't work without the boosters. And stay safe out there, everyone. See you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night and take care, everyone. Good night.